everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome, and I hope you will enjoy this video. Today we are going to talk about paper clutter and how to keep on top of your paper and keep them organized. The first tip to keep paper clutter at bay is to start getting your bills via email. This will reduce the number of paper in your home substantially. It is important to have some form of organizer for your mail, which ideally is placed right next to your door. So as soon as you come into your home, you grab your mail and you put it in an organizer, and that immediately avoids from you putting it on your kitchen countertop or any other surface in your home and start causing piles and piles of paper. It does not necessarily have to be something exactly like this, but you can have a tray or anything where you can put your mail inside it. However, you should not leave the mail there for too long, and at least once a week you go through your mail and see what needs to be tackled. Another tip to keep your paper clutter at bay is to deal with your school papers immediately. Those can be important. You might need to send money to school or some other important information that needs to be actioned that same week, so it's important that you tackle those papers immediately. If you don't need to action papers immediately from school, or if you need to keep some extra books home or some copybooks at home from your child's school, I would recommend using something like this. This is the one I use for my daughter, and I keep all her school-related papers or books in here. Once you have determined which papers need to be kept and you have actioned them, then it is best to file them either in a filing system or in an archiver file. The best way to organize your files is to categorize each item. So bills in one file, important documents in another file, and things that you need to reference in a separate file. What I mean by important documents is any documents that would be difficult to retrieve back if they were lost. For example, any documents relating to your property are quite important, and if you need to retrieve them back, that it can be very difficult to get them back. For example, in one of my files I keep, which is color of the color red, because naturally red is a color that shows the emergency importance of things. So I basically find any important documents in here, I label it important documents, and in here I keep anything related to our house, whether it's our contract, home contract, whether it's important work that has been done in our property, any permits, any architect papers, anything that is related to the property or anything that needs immediate attention. You can also, in your important documents file, put any medical papers as well, any birth certificates, marriage certificates, anything that you would need to access immediately. Another file should be dedicated to bills. Unfortunately, not all companies would be willing to send their bills via email, although many are now doing it, but sometimes you still receive bills, even if it's maybe a temporary bill. Maybe you did some work in your home and you received the bill and you need to file it. That you should dedicate a file specifically for bills, or even if it's not monthly bill or any annual bills like home insurance, life insurances that is paid on an annual basis, you can file it in there. Another archiver file which you can keep in your home is for anything that you would like to reference at a later stage. Maybe you receive a number of magazines and you don't want to keep all the magazine but just a few pages, and you can put everything in there and you can reference it at a later stage. If this is not your case, you can have another file where you can file papers which don't really have a home. Maybe they don't fall under the category of bills, they don't fall under the category of very important documents, but papers that you wish to keep hold of for whatever reason you might need them. When it comes to your files, make sure to put a divider in between each section. For example, here we have the bills file. At the very front, I put a list of what is inside, and you have your dividers so that you can separate each company accordingly, and you don't have a mix and match, and if you need to reference a particular bill, you can easily do so. If on the other hand you are working on a specific project, maybe a home renovation, I would recommend that you do a folder specifically for your project. That way you can keep any quotations, any bills, any pictures that are inspiring you for the project, and put everything in your folder, so whenever you need to reference that folder, you can do it so easily. Once the project has been closed, you can go through your papers, see what needs to be kept for future reference, and file them accordingly in your file. If you have any medical condition and you have very important medical documents, whether it's for yourself or anyone, for your relatives, it is important that these documents are placed in a safe manner, are filed properly, and are easily accessible in case of emergency. I would highly recommend that you place these documents somewhere near your entryway, and that all your family knows where these are, so that in case of emergency that you need to rush out of the door, you just go to these documents, grab them, and you're out of the door. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you once again, until the next time. Bye!